It sort of beats me a little bit how Alec Lang got to a lot of those trips with us. But you must remember that in the very early days, none of us could drive vehicles. We were probably a bit young for that. So he probably drove the truck in the early days. I just can't quite remember that. But Arthur McWilliams was the one who took over then and became a truck
driving
driver,
role.
A bit of everything.
I don't. Wait on a moment. I think Mr. Chivel used to drive us.
Well, he did.
When we went to Hall's Gap.
He took trips to Hall's Gap. We had a very large Sunday school, at Mildura. It just exploded, and a lot of the young people grew up to be campers. A lot of our strength came from that. You'll see some of the teachers coming out now that you remember.
And how nicely dressed everyone was. Hey?
Everybody was nicely dressed. The girls with their hats on, boys with their ties on. Just have a look again with the ties, Vic. They all have their ties on.
Yeah.
Their hair done nicely. That's coming out the side door of the church, which is not there now, of course.
And weren't they big anniversaries?
Weren't they what? Yes, up on those... that special stand we built in the finish to try and hold them all there. 115, 120 young people with their teachers sitting up there.
And the church would be packed. And people
church was packed.
Come in from the other churches.
They did. It was a really big turnout for Sunday school anniversaries. Much
practice beforehand.
That's right. When you see those little spots where they stop and start again, that seems to be where the photographer must have had to wind up his camera to get a bit more steam out of it. I often wonder what that was, but I think that's what it was.
We need an expert to explain that to us.
Exactly, that's right. But I think this footage has been enhanced a fair bit to what we had, and we don't want to apologise for any of that. But these shots are not the originals. They were taken from a shot that was put up on a wall, I believe, and taken by a video camera. So they're a copy of the original. Originals we haven't been able to find. But Ian in Labsonics in his studio has done a tremendous job of being able to make these clear, because I looked at one the other day that somebody had and it was almost unwatchable. Yes, the Sunday school was a very powerful part of our church. Young people have always been very special. I think I saw you there in that shot, Vic, before, just a moment ago. I might see you again there. I'm sure you're in that shot there somewhere.
I was just looking at our sister and two younger brothers, Doug.
Yeah, they were in the Sunday school. There's Vic with the tie on.
With the
dark
eyes.
hair. How old were you there, Vic? About 10 probably, 9 or 10?
Oh, yeah, it must have been something like that, Doug.
Yeah.
There's Malcolm McAllister.
That's right.
And I think that's the boy Snow.
Was it Ted Snow? Was he?
I'm not sure.
No, he was a Snow anyhow.
He was a Snow.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think this might be the teachers coming out behind.
That's what it is, yeah. You can see we had a very large faculty of teachers, very committed young people. Yeah, you recognise some of those people coming out there now.
Well, there's Peter and David Robinson.
That's
I think
right.
I saw there.
And there's Bob McAllister. This shot is in front of Flinders Street Station.
Was that the Monbulk camp you went to?
It was either the Monbulk camp or we went down... No, yes, it would have been the Monbulk camp, because when we went down to conference we took the train. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was the Monbulk. Yes, there's some shots there of... we went out to Alinda that day, I believe.
So once again, that was Alec Lang's truck,
that was Alex Lang's truck.
Boy, oh boy, what a trip to Melbourne.
Exactly.
On the back of the truck.
What do we got here? Some looks like a picnic of some young people looking a bit shy on it. But Vic, picnics were a big thing, weren't they, in the church?
They were.
You know,
both Sunday school and church picnics, weren't
exactly. We just love to get away together and enjoy one another's friendship and fellowship. There's Jack Chevill and his wife.
I think one of my earliest memories, Doug, of picnics is a Sunday school picnic, and of course raspberry cordial featured very largely.
That's right. Exactly.
And I think I was young enough to have a mug sort of tied around my neck.
That's right.
And if I remember rightly, we used to go down to Sandalong Park quite a bit.
We did. That was a favourite spot.
And church picnics were always in, I think, Doug. I can remember talking to Mrs. Benham once, who told me that they used to go for their church picnics on the back of a horse and dray with hay bales on it.
Okay, yeah.
And she thought they had much better times than we ever had.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, we went to places like Apex Park quite often, remember, as whole groups together, and then later on to Lake Clullarone. But yeah, picnics were a big thing, weren't they? Yes, well, you know, some of the footage we've got from here on is going to be a lot clearer to see, and we've got to give thanks to Donald Mansell, because he had a lot of stuff that his dad had taken and Alec Lang had taken, and he was able to provide that to us, and so we're very, very grateful to have some of these later shots.
Now, Doug, that's what we used to put up before the hall was built.
Oh, that's right,
Mansell's,
Vic,
wasn't
I
it?
remember that. We had this great big canvas shot. This is Dorothy Davidson. We had a great big canvas awning that we just put over the top, and we camped under that, and we sang under that, we ate under that, we did everything under that. That's of a very early shot, I think, that footage.
I think we even had our camp concerts under that.
We
Doug.
certainly did.
And they were a great feature of camp life.
They were.
Some very funny items.
Yes. A lot of hilarity went on there in those days.
That's right.
Water bombing and goodness knows what. You see the piano there, we carted that from the Sunday school hall on the back of Alec Lang's truck, took it down there. That provided our music.
Yes, it certainly got carried around, that piano.
It did, and yet it still kept playing somehow or another.
I don't know how.
That's one of the young Manelics. They came with their parents from the camps. There's a shot of one of the beds. That was what we slept on. Early shot of two of them. Dorothy.
Peter and Dorothy.
Yeah.
Rona and Alice.
And Alice
Robinson.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it was reasonably primitive, but we had everything we wanted. We had showers there, and main thing, as long as we had a bed to sleep on. We didn't sleep much though, Vic, did we, in those days?
No.
Not at those camps.
No, there wasn't certainly a lot of sleep.
There's some of our leaders getting together. Jack Chev, Mrs. Manelic, Mrs. Lang, Redcliffe Church. There's the famous truck. Look, we must have done 1 million miles in that truck in those camping days. Those guys are tinkering up something there. There's one of the bombs of one of the guys that came. I think that was from one of the outsiders from Mildura. I'm not sure whether it was from Swan Hill or Berry, but they used to turn up in those sorts of machines.
Well decorated anyhow.
Yes, a little later on we got a shot of the 50s, all the people on the truck, but we're very lucky to have this footage that Donald's given us. I've never seen it before. Actual footage of setting up ready for the shot you'll see in a moment, and there are the leaders there with the sign up on the bus. That's the shot of the 1950s, Vic.
And that was them getting ready for it.
Oh, look, a lot of people have got that shot, and I tried to put names to all of those people, and I went round a number of people, couldn't do it. But at our celebrations, we're going to have them up, and people can add names. Yes, another shot of people on that truck. Yes, I'm not sure where that was. Well, that one's taken. You know where that is, Vic?
I think they're lined up for another photo, aren't they?
Oh, that looks like it. Outside the Capitol Ballroom, if you remember where that was, just along from the Commercial Bank. And there it is again, the same group, outside of the T&G clock. And
well, that's the T&G clock over the road.
Yeah, the
anyhow,
T&G clock just behind, I think. Yes, they're the uncles and aunts.
Mrs. Benham up the back
Mrs.
there.
Benham, what a gracious, lovely lady she was, and
What a hard-working camp
my
cook.
word, she was. There's a shot of some of the camp. They look a bit weary at the moment. They don't they? They're having a Coke or whatever.
And those boys' camps were great. That looks like a shot of you there.
You know, I'm not sure where that was, but we took those boys away, and they've probably been to church at Hall's Gap or one of those places. Oh, I remember that shot was the Monbolk camp when a group of young people went down for that. Yeah, there's some lassies together there.
That looks like it's back to the river again.
That is, yeah. Yeah, and back to the river again. Mm-hmm. You'll recognise some of those folk. Outside the girls' dormitory, that was the dip tin shed of Vic Mansell, I believe. But that's where a lot of the girls camped. Some of them camped in a house that was there, but most of them camped there. That's the inside of that. You know, there were so many people that gave us wonderful shots. We just can't include all of them, but there are a lot of still shots that'll come up now. 3 young lasses there, outside that same building. Great times around the pianos.
That's Doug at the piano, isn't it?
Doug Beasy, I believe, there, yes, and piano inside the that cover we had.
That's right.